Yeah, there's a reason for it, bro. And you did it again, so it didn't matter. And now you're happy with it, so
Yeah, now I'm happy with it.
that's all that matters.
We need to talk about, which this is an interesting one because like this 50-50 down this kinked curved rail is what most people maybe would like have for their last trick, right?
Yeah.
And going back to what Kelly said earlier, the last trick in the part, which we won't watch, go watch Andy's part for the last trick, but why switch or why have the last trick that was in the part the last trick?
I'm so glad we're talking about this. Because the first edits, the big super rail was the last trick.
Okay.
But that trick was a lonesome journey.
How, what do you mean?
Like, it was my mental battle with myself. And when I landed it, if people were cheering me on or something, I was like, shut up. You know, like, I don't want your praise right now. Like, this is for me to, like, I can move on from this now.
We're talking about the last trick that's presently the last trick?
No, the big rail.
The big rail.
The big rail.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was too serious and somber, and I didn't want that to be the legacy of, like, wow, he's willing to push himself that hard. You know what I mean? Like, the last trick that we chose is a community celebration. My mom and dad were there. My girlfriend was there. And a bunch of random people that just caught the stoke. And that is the energy that I want people to walk away with.
And we're not saying that the last trick is by any means not a last trick, because it is gnarly.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it's a micro spot, and I love that about it, because I wanted to bring love to, like it's day one style stuff. You can get a cover skating a rock. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about this. There's the macro and micro, and there's value in it all, and it's different. Like, I'm so inspired by Bye Bye Skateboarding on Instagram. Like, he's the king of these micro spots and, like, these crazy facets of skateboarding that should be more developed. But this is just, yeah. I wanted the community and happiness to be the last vibe.
I got that vibe.
Yeah,
I got that vibe for sure. And then this one, which is kind of in the middle of your part, it's kind of like the breakdown between like songs, maybe, right? It's like the
intermission.
Kind of. It's kind of the intermission.
Yeah,
right?
it gives your brain a break.
But there's also stuff that I want to ask you about this too. Here, look at this. It's like all misty and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
You know, what's up with this?
So
It looks like yoga mat.
it is
material.
yoga mat.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
And you put the yoga
works.
mat on the top of the rail. This rail probably wouldn't be possible without something that that can control your speed.
This is a great angle to look at it with. See, so the first set's a 16.
Okay.
So it's like Hollywood 16-ish.
It's a big rail, 16.
With a kink at the end. And then you see how it just drops off right there? It's like a cliff.
Yep.
So that's a 26 stair drop cliff right there.
Damn.
At that kink
At that
point.
kink. So
okay.
if you don't take the corner and you just do the 16 kink and go straight, you're falling off of almost 2 stories.
Jeez.
And that kink is a 90 degree?
Yeah, 45.
45 degree.
Almost perfect 45.
Okay.
So in my brain, yes, if you had 100 of the best skaters and if someone went off and died off the kink and nobody else was like fear-driven by that and they kept trying it anyways, or if the rail was like a couple inches off the ground and there was grass on either side, yes, it's possible, but the risk is just so gnarly. And if you're going slow, you're not going to fall off that cliff because it's not really a cliff. It's like a steep hill.
Slow, yeah.
It's a steep hill.
Is it possible, though, for somebody to gap out and land on that pathway?
Yeah,
What
like
was that?
Some outside.
Motorcycle.
so it's a 26 and then you have the height of the rail, so it's about a 30 stair height, right?
Okay.
So if you were to jump and land on that pathway, you'd be jumping down a 30 stair.
Yeah, because it looks kind of far out, right?
That's what I'm saying.
The cement is kind of far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it almost can, it's a little bit steeper than the stairs would be.
So when you found this rail, you wanted to do the rail.
Yeah.
But it's not possible to do unless something can control your speed going down it.
Yes.
were you thinking to yourself, like, I want to do this rail, I want to control my speed? Are people going to say, like, oh, he's cheating,
Hey, I don't like. I just want to figure it out.
that's not even a concern?
No, because rollerbladers do the way crazier rails than skateboarders because they can switch up. I assume it's because they can switch up their grind and touch more or less of their rollerblade,
True.
and they can control their speed.
More
Oh,
friction
they
on
can-
there.
Yeah, or they can
Right.
they can do this one and it's only a little bit, or they can do this one and it's a lot.
Skaters cannot control their speed. They're at the mercy of that rail and how steep that rail is.
Right.
And if it's waxed or not.
True.
Yeah.
True. Which a lot of people wax rails now. So
Yeah, and usually when people stick on a rail and fall forward, it's not that the rail was too sticky. Like if you actually leaned back on it, you would still go really fast. But people think, oh, it stopped me because your board stopped. But you went forward.
right.
So unless you actually stop on the rail, still in the grind, it's not too sticky.
Now, were there other options besides yoga mat that you were trying to use?
Yeah, I tried a
Since
bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So I,
What did you try?
Yeah. What?
And are you just going there experimenting, or are you going there with the filmer to try to get it in that? Oh, that one didn't work. We got to go back and try to some other material.
yeah, well, originally Gorilla Tape was the hot take. I was like, Gorilla Tape. I didn't even talk about it when on the table trick with the pogo. Like you're throwing the carousels, so your fingers are on the grip tape all day. So you have like 8 tries before you start bleeding.
Oh, shit.
And then so I'd use finger tape, but then you had to keep taping. Then I found Gorilla Tape over the grip tape, so now I'm not throwing that. So there's Gorilla Tape all over this part.
Sponsored by Gorilla
Straight
Tape.
up.
Yeah, I'm going
You have
for
to
it.
reach out to
Going
them.
for it, yeah. So
And-
what other pieces of material did you try to use for this?
So I went to Home Depot and I bought like a bunch of stuff, like welcome mats. I bought some like gym floor material. I bought some carpets, and
Amazing.
and I got some exercise mats, like the Everlast exercise mats. And I was pretty confident the carpet would work.
Okay.
So and then I would take them to the Venice skate park. But before I did all this, I went here with Gorilla Tape and hopped on it, and it was too fast. So I put 2 layers of Gorilla Tape, hopped on it, it was too fast. 3 layers, and I got to like 6 or 7 layers, and it was still too fast. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be something else.
Huh.
So are you just like jumping on and then jumping off right away?
Yeah, jumping on it, seeing how long I can grind, but it's just I'm not committing to that.
Because there's a couple bales in here too.
Yeah, and you can see how
Which you
sticky
can
it
kind of
is.
see.
Wait, so you went to the skate park and tested it there?
Yeah, so I went to the skate park and I
Hold
tested
on,
it.
everybody. Let me put this carpet here on the rail. I need to test something.
Dude, and everyone's freaking out. What are you doing? I'm a top secret. Like, what do you mean top,
Top
secret? I'm like,
secret.
top secret. Like, what do you mean top secret? Tell me I'm your boy. And I'm like, no, shut up, dude. It's top secret. Leave me alone.
But what rail are you trying it on?
The 4 block, right by the pool
Oh,
at the Venice Park.
steep ass rail.
Steep
Okay.
and low to get on. So I freaking tried the carpet. Way too fast, dude.
Really?
Carpet on a rail is straight through it.
Goes.
It was crazy.
What are you using to attach?
Gorilla Tape, baby.
Double-sided Gorilla Tape?
Not double sided.
You.
Just cut it out with scissors or a knife or something. Get the right amount. And
I gotta check this Gorilla Tape out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
anything
okay.
about Gorilla
New
Tape.
sponsor alert, bro.
It's like duct tape, no?
When I was a kid, I used to make everything out of duct tape. Everything.
It
I
works.
had wallets and stuff, and I made my backpack out of duct tape for school. But
I've never heard that one.
I've heard
You
of
know,
a wallet.
Yeah.
I had a cardboard piece for the back support,
Okay.
and other than that, it was entirely duct tape. And the straps would always fall off when I was walking to school. So I'm like, I need duct tape that's strong. Gorilla Tape was the only tape that would be my backpack straps.
Okay.
So since I was a kid, I was like, Gorilla Tape's the one, you know.
So you're going to the Venice Park and you're experimenting with the Gorilla Tape. You're doing all this stuff.
Yeah, and it's all too fast.
I can't believe carpet on trucks is not. I would assume anything you put on a rail you would stick,
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
but you're grinding through it.
Yeah, and the grip tape was the first, but then the grip tape peels off every try, and then it piles up. You know, it's like a nice sheet, and then you grind into it, and it's like.
I mean, a couple grinds it's glue basically. that
Yeah.
yeah.
So it is crazy, and then I wanted to do the. Yeah, I was trying to think of all the things. I tried to do it mentally, right? Like, whoa, what's gonna work? But really, you have to actually try some things.
Yeah, to see how it
figure out.
works.
So went to the park, and then we figured out that one layer of yoga mat. Oh, sorry. Full story. Everlast. The Everlast
Workout stuff.
Workout stuff was the best, except it stretched. So the truck would hit it and pull it a little bit, and then that would rip the tape.
Okay.
So I was like, I need something squishy that doesn't stretch. And then it hit me that yoga mats are made not to stretch. So you can do like downward dog and it doesn't pull out. Because I used to do yoga on the Everlast mats and it would not work because I would do certain stretches and it would just like, it would stretch, not me.
What's an Everlast mat made for then? Like
putting your, like, I don't know, like if you got like weights and stuff.
just putting it down on a, okay.
Yeah, just as long as you're not like pulling it apart, it's pretty comfortable.
Right. Familiar with it, but okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so then I was like, I'm going to use this yoga mat that I've had in my room since forever. I got it in Bondi Beach, like way back when I was practicing for some contest for the Olympics, you know? Like, now this makes sense. It's not some random thing I just bought from Home Depot. Now this is this is like a personal item of mine. So that first cut into it was scary. and then one layer with Gorilla Tape, no wax, was working. It was kind of like like jittery all the way down, and then I left a little piece of metal at the end of the rail because it was a little longer than a yoga mat, and it would be like and then when it hit the regular metal, it was whoosh, like speed boost, and I was like, okay, that's enough. So we went there and we tried that, and it was still too fast. I was still going uncomfortably fast. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? 2 layers of yoga mat. So then I made the goal. I want to make it too slow and then speed up. Because if I just keep trying to get slower and slower until it's perfect and it's still too fast, like I want to go past the goal and then move back up towards it. So 2 layers of yoga mat, that's definitely going to be too slow. And it was way too slow. And then I could start waxing it.
I never even thought about waxing these things.
Yeah, so it's like, you can't grind the mat, right? You have to grind the tape because the tape doesn't tear. So you cover the mat with the tape, and the tape is so strong it can be a backpack
So the
strap.
mat it's the squishiness of the mat that makes it not as fast as the tape. It's holding you back. It's giving you that little bit of friction.
It's giving you so the rail's like this, but if you squish into it, it creates a little flat spot.
And that flat spot continues on down the whole rail.
Down the whole rail.
Yeah.
So then you just wax the crap out of it. And then it was going, it was just like a smooth, slow thing. And then I would hit the metal and it'd be like, ding, ding. It wasn't like, bah.
Right.
So,
Let's watch what you're talking about
Yeah.
here. So you're putting that on, boom.
Double.
here, go back actually.
Double? Okay, here.
So there's 2. There's the thin one that I'm going to put
Right.
on first. And then the fat one that wraps around it. So they're not like fully stacked and then they'll slap around.
Gotcha. And then you're wrapping the Gorilla Tape around the rail the whole length of it.
Mhm.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm on the same page. So there he is with the
And the
there's
Gorilla
a
Tape.
hawk.
Yeah, the Gorilla Tape is flat.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, Tony was there.
Tony pulled up.
This to me is
Stick.
so sketchy, dude.
Dude.
Bro.
You're alling onto a yoga mat with Gorilla Tape around it onto this psycho rail.
And it makes the rail fatter. And the fatter the rail is, then the more likely the wheels are going to climb out of your grind.
Oh, I didn't even think
So
of
I
that.
had to wax the crap out of the sides of it, too.
Push-ups. Get it.
I was just like, man, it is so gnarly. And then one thing I haven't said yet that I want to say, actually,
Go ahead.
is that I knew this trick had to be my ender, or like the centerpiece at least, before I started the part. Like a year before I started the part.
You had already had the spot mapped out.
Yeah, I already knew about it, and I was gonna go compete in the Olympics. I didn't have time to like
Okay.
work on this. So the whole part, everything I'm filming, this is in my mind going.
But you had it in your mind as the ender.
Yeah.
Did that kind of trip you out though? Did that kind of like put this on a pedestal? Like, what like? Didn't that make you just go want to do that first?
Dude, it I didn't want to do it though. Look at this rail. You know what I mean? I didn't want to face that.
I mean, here's the thing. There's probably 100,000 rails like that out there that every skater has gone up to and be like, oh, it's just not possible.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. There's no
Yeah.
way. And then you took your little brain, the ingenuity, and tried to figure out, well, how can this be possible? What can I do to make this possible? And it's a yoga mat and Gorilla Tape.
Okay,
Yeah,
look,
and wax.
What he's saying really quick though, like remember the drop you're talking about?
That's why I paused it right here.
That's a good. Okay, that's a great angle for that because that's
yeah,
huge.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Can't
do that.
You can't do that. No.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just.
But I like that. You're such a thinker.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if.
No, everyone knows that you're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have to say it, right? Yes.
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you took something that was unskateable and made it skatable. That I'm sure, like I said, 1,000 skaters have seen, and they said they can't. That's impossible.
And the best thing that could happen is some kid can skate a rail in his hometown now because he can put a yoga mat on it. And it's a 150 stair rail that like goes down to a beach somewhere.
Right.
It, like
To a cabana.
Drops you right off.
To
There you go.
retirement. Yeah.
So let's check this out. Okay, here we go. Boom. He's on it, and then.
Oh, pause it.
Yep. Oh wait, go back.
So I cut off the last little bit there
Yeah. Oh,
so
wait,
that I would
oops,
get the
sorry.
speed boost.
Oops.
That
Yeah,
makes
you need
sense.
some
Yeah.
speed going into it.
Right.
Yeah, so earlier in the day it was grinding better, but then the weather changed and everything started moving different. So this was minutes before the sun was too far down, like it's kind of dark.
You want a little bit of sun to heat that wax up, right?
A little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of misty out.
Yeah, it was
Or cer-
crazy weather there.
Where is that?
Palos Verdes, I think.
I was gonna say you can tell people where this is. I don't think anyone's gonna do anything else on it. So
There's a lot of spots here. At the school, there's a lot of 20 rails if you're into that.
Phew.
Oh, wait, so you cut it-
I
Okay,
love
yeah.
that.
Wow.
what was there was a couple tricks, a couple tries where you got to the end and fell off right when you landed.
Yeah, bro.
Did you want to
Kill myself.
did you lose your mind doing that?
Dude, I was blessed with a mantra the night before.
Did
Well-
it take a long time to do it? Wait, what was your mantra? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Relax your
do it,
hips,
do it.
relax your lower back, relax your shoulders.
Just relax, pretty much.
And I
Take a
said
chill
that I
pill,
said that
man.
before every attempt, and then calm became part of it. So it was calm, relax your hips, relax your lower back, relax your shoulders, calm, and then I started saying that for every out breath, and then I ended up doing 5 breaths before every attempt. So it ended up being like positive message, balancing my breath, so I wasn't freaking out because it's so easy to freak out.
For sure.
Now, even though you have made the rail skatable, there is still. I mean, how many stairs is that last set?
26.
So that's 26 after the flat and the kink, right?
Yeah.
After you made it so that the first part was a slow grind to the fast grind.
Dude, you have to make this corner and stay straight, right? It's not like a consistent curve that you can kind of hug it. It's like straight, direct corner, straight.
I can almost see you picked up your front truck a little bit, right? To like turn it.
Yeah, like that's just blackout zone.
Are you seriously?
Yeah.
Right here. Oh wait, maybe
And
you
then-
didn't.
and
Maybe
then
you
you-
just forced it in there. I thought you picked up your front.
On the bales, somewhat kind of he
Yeah.
did. It looked like.
Yeah, dude, that. And then you get to that point where you're about to go into the 26 and you have about 0.5 seconds to decide if you're going to make it all the way down or not. And if you're not going to make it all the way down, you better jump off because
Totally.
otherwise you're.
Get got.
And
Yeah, you
get
did.
thrown off.
You did.
I lifted up
Yeah.
on the make.
Did you figure out that using that tape or that equation and doing that was that the same day you did it?
Mm-hmm.
Like you figured out this is what I need for it, and I'm gonna do it today.
No, because it's a school, so it was a Sunday spot.
So you figured out the exact way, basically.
And then to prepare for the upcoming Sunday.
Okay.
And then if I didn't do it this weekend, the weekend after was Phoenix Am. So I would have had to wait 2 weekends. So it would have been like, and then I can't move on to anything else. So that would have been like 2 weeks of me laying in my laundry, like
Just thinking about it.
Seems like the laundry is your defeated place.
You look like Chris in that mob ad right there, but with just your laundry.
Defeated.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, once you got past this point, and then you're on to this rail, do you feel like you're home free?
No. Then you have the heaviest decision to make.
That being,
am I going to commit to the rest of this rail and hope that I don't hit the huge crack at the very bottom? Or am I going to jump off right there and die?
'cause you're going, at this point, you're going fast.
Well, I say this to people who don't skate, right? Like, but you guys obviously skate. 15 stairs is a standardized story. So usually if there's like a hotel or something, it's 15 stairs up to the second floor.
I didn't know
It's about
that.
10 feet, right?
That's interesting.
Isn't 10 feet the standard floor size?
Something like that.
Something like that, right?
So these aren't super standard stairs. They're like school stairs, but it's a
Sure.
16. So let's say the first one's a story.
Okay.
And then the second one is 26.
26.
So it's like over 2 stories.
Yeah, just almost 2 stories. Like the second one is almost 2 stories alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the first one adds a... So you're... Like that's...
This is no small.
Over 3 stories?
it's over 2 stories in total. The whole rail. It's
Oh, okay.
42 stairs. 45 would be 3 stories.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was thinking of 10s for some reason. I don't know why.
So it's like... When you try... Because it's hard to understand the size of it from video.
Yeah, it looks pretty big.
It's pretty It's pretty big. Yeah.
So I knew that if I tried to do something like this and slow down a grind, people would just laugh. So it had to be something so gnarly.
That's why I asked about the cheat, because skaters, they're so like, oh, he put something there to slow him down to make it possible. It's like cheating, but you didn't. You showed everybody the process also.
Yeah, the process.
It wasn't like
you
it wasn't like you're
it.
trying to fake the funk and be like, whoa, why is he grinding so slow? I don't know. It's weird.
And it's easy to hide. Like the Gorilla Tape blends right in on that
I mean,
rail.
bro, if I didn't even know, you get on a rail going slow, something's up.
Yeah, and what's trippy is I had to... The other thing about this spot that we haven't got into is uphill run up on a 45-degree angle.
Yes.
So I'm like running this way at the rail and I'm landing down here.
Right.
Like it's fully like
that's
angle
weird.
on and then angle and then you're coming back. It's like a U-turn from where I'm coming from.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely not cheating. I don't even know how you can cheat something like this.
Well, I'm just saying, skaters are skaters. They're going to say stuff,
You can say whatever you want.
I'm not. It's not
Straight
cheating,
up.
but you're finding a way to help you do it better,
Exactly.
right? Like,
to make it possible.
To make it possible.
It's
sorry.
not even do
Yeah.
it better. It's like
Exactly, yeah.
possible. This was impossible.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
without that.
possible.
If you tried to grind that with nothing on it, you would fly straight off.
Andy wouldn't be sitting here right now.
He
We need
would
no
not,
more Andy.
dude.
Andy would be gone.
There had to be no other way for me to do it that way. There had to be no other way to do it.
It's like some.
It wouldn't be done.
If Jackass was like they were like the best skaters possible, like you, and then you just did a Jackass wheel and just launched off.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude, like a Buster Bail on that spot
wow.
would be like,
I wouldn't even want to watch that.
yeah.
But
I think
That's super dangerous.
yeah.
I think you made the right choice. I think that is a good middle ground for the part, and then the hype up, and then the next part, the next section in the part is good. And then I think you chose a good ender too.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Wasn't that trick in Thrasher?
Yeah.
So did that have a
It was in my war.
influence of you
Oh.
not putting that as the last trick because you're like it's already out there?
No, that had nothing to do with it.
Okay, because sometimes people are like, oh, my last trick's already.
it came out.
I already came out. I don't want to put that as my last trick if people know, but that has nothing to do with it.
No, and I wanted to call the piece "We Did It" forever, but I got advised against it many times because it is my piece. But I like the non-dualistic, like we are all one. So anything I do, we did. So I like the we did, and then in the ender that I did pick, I'm like we did it, and then everybody's like, yeah, that was sick. It was so worth it.
Yeah.
And that's like that's the energy.
Also, I didn't know your parents were there.
Yeah, they're
It's like
pretty
you
cool.
just saying that and everything. Like, it makes it a little more special.
Yeah, my parents
To be
were in
honest.
town, and I was like, "You want to see me at work? Like, you never, like take your kids to work day. Like, take my parents to work day.
Come by the office.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
different than like, hey,
exactly.
come by and get a smoothie, man. I'll give you for free.
Yeah, they see me like screaming at a sidewalk, and like,
Oh my god,
that's my son.
it's a good little restaurant right there. Little Cafe K is pretty good.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
so good.
What about like there's people across the street watching from above?
Yes,
They were just what bar is that? A bar or is
they
that a
were
restaurant?
just
It's
having.
offices.
They were
Is it
hanging
really?
out, dude.
Yeah.
And then I was so in the zone, and they must have been there for a while. But then Victor pointed them out and was like, "Yo, you see that?" And it changed my whole demeanor. And then I was positive, and then I got it. So I wouldn't have got it without their support,
Okay.
which is we did it. Like that was like a true thank you to like. And then one thing I want to talk about that I can't not talk about because it's so prevalent in my life is that big rail healed me. I had an autoimmune disease for over a year where I was constantly sick all the time. I went on that trip with Powell to New York. I'd have a day out of feeling better, and then I was sick for 2 days, and then I'd be a day. It wasn't like real sicknesses that people could catch from me. I just had no immune system. It was
You
weird.
think like your energy level was like
I got blood tests. I got all this stuff done, and I couldn't figure it out.
it's mental?
It was all mental. And the day I landed that big rail, it was lifted.
It all went away.
It all went away.
God.
And that was like this healing from like this crazy infection that I was living through. And my girlfriend's like, "Hey, you want to go out to the bar?" I'm like, "No, if I go out to the bar, I'm not going to be able to skate this weekend because I'm going to get sick again."
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't live a normal life for a long time, and I was kind of preparing to live like that for the rest of my life. I didn't know what was going on. But for that rail to save me,
You mentioned that in the beginning. You said that I'm going to do that trick for my that rail for my last trick.
yeah,
Was that in your head the whole time?
Whole
Like
time.
And so do you? That's what made you. Were you always constantly thinking about that rail?
and every other trick had to compare to that rail. Like, and every trick was procrastinating that rail. Like everything was like, let's do the rail. No, let's do something else. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And it's
You're like almost avoiding it.
I was avoiding it because I didn't know how to do it yet. I didn't know what the materials were. And to be through and land that was the most relieved I've ever felt in my entire life. And I don't wish that upon others to go through that. But if you do go through it and it's self-inflicted, not inflicted by someone else, then it can be a powerful thing. If it was inflicted by someone else, I would put them in jail. You know? But because I did it to myself, I'm like, I see.
It's crazy that you went on blood tests and you really thought something was wrong with you.
It was really bad.
I think it was just the stress of you just constantly like,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
true to like.
triggering and making that
Or it could have been
making
him,
your immune system just break down because you're worrying about it so much.
or
You
it
know
could have
what
been
I mean?
him lying in his dirty laundry.
I mean, that's
The magnets
too,
coming out.
Oh man, jeez.
like
But it's
can't
like
move.
it's so true what people say about stress causing that on like your actual mental and physical health.
Well, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm back there right now because the video part's about to really come out. Like I'm eating like one meal a day today. Like for the last few days, I'm getting skinny, bro.
Right.
And it's not because I want to. It's because I'm preparing for something, and I don't know how to handle that stuff so good yet. You know, the Olympics did a lot for me in learning how to prepare for these heavy things, and it's the only way I was able to carry the load that I've been able to carry for this part
Mhm.
is because of all that preparation, and now I'm doing it on my terms. It's not it's not anybody else telling me to do it,
Right.
which gives me so much more power to work harder.
for sure.
So you're saying like halfway through the part, you became not sick.
No, that was right near the end.
The 50-50 was?
Yeah, that was one of the last tricks. That was the first trick I filmed with the
Oh, it's the last. That's the last trick you filmed.
yeah.
Okay.
It was one of the last tricks I filmed. The last trick I filmed was the gravitron on the bench, where I carved.
Oh,
inside of
okay,
it.
okay.
But the the whole part up until that rail is experimental wheels and boards. And it felt so good to have my finished pro board, the Baby Heron Vajra, and the Nano Cubics in the size and hardness that I wanted. That was all manifested and together, and then the rail. And then the rail was... Because I was like, what if people don't think my board's good because I'm doing all these other tricks on other boards, right? And it's like, no, like, shut up, brain.
Sometimes it's going to tell your brain to shut up, dude.
Your brain can get
Straight up.
really in the way.